to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. Currently, I'm going to be working on a monthly read for your sign in Aries here. I know I'm starting a little bit late. It's the 4th of October right now, but having the solar eclipse in Libra coming up here on the 14th, I just wanted to make sure that I was giving an overall read of what to expect for the month, as well as weekly as we come up to that, just because it's such a big change, such a big happening that's going on here. So the eclipse in Libra is going to be geared towards relationships. For Aries specifically, you're going to be looking at if you are in a relationship already that's close, that coming closer. Say if you don't already live together, maybe you might end up moving in together. If it's a situation where the relationship's not going super well, you may find yourself cleaving from that and being drawn more towards what it is that is best for you. And if you are single, then it's something that you might find the partner that you've been looking for is going to present themselves, or an opportunity may come around that you can find to connect with them. So start off here. I'd like to pull my decks here. I'd like to pull an oracle card. This is the Starseed Oracle, and I just want a card here to kind of govern the energy of the reading, something to look at as an overall expectation or effect for the month for you. So here we have trust the timing. I'm going to read this to you. If I can find it. So trust the timing here. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. So often those who feel like they're here for a reason sense the time is running out, and they spend their life worrying that they might miss their moment. But the only way to miss your life or your moment is to spend your time worrying about missing it. It's never too late to answer a calling, and you're never too old. The tides of your life are magnificently orchestrated to come in and out in perfect unison. Don't race ahead and ride a wave that was never meant for you. You'll waste your precious time and energy when instead you could be enjoying your life. Everything has a season, and you're being called to trust that one you're in. Don't let impatience, comparison, competition, or paranoia disturb the seeds. It seems that everyone has anxiety these days, constantly scanning for something they might have missed or a possible threat. Keeping our mind and body pointed in the same direction as our soul is near impossible at such reactive speeds. Right now, you're being reminded to take a breath and trust the wave you came in on, to trust the season you're in. Time isn't running out. There's plenty of time. There's no rush, and it's never too late. And the question that they give you here is, how can you trust the timing of your life a little more? I love this card already just to start with this reading, dovetailing off of what I was saying about the eclipse in your sign specifically, with everything being moved towards what is best for you, whether that's the relationship developing in a better way, moving in together, splitting off from relationships not working and moving to a relationship that will, or as a single, moving to that relationship that really works for you. So trust the timing. If any of you out there are feeling like it just explained, time is running out, it's not. Time is absolutely an illusion as far as we're concerned here in this third dimension. It doesn't operate in a linear fashion. So just trusting that you're exactly where you need to be, and that the blessings that are meant for you are always right on time, because they are. So I wanted to start off here with my Light Seers Tarot, and then get some clarification with my standard deck here. So we're just going to ask what to expect here for your month of October. Foul. The weather's cooling down here. I mean, depending on where you're watching from, I suppose. I'm here in Washington. We're finally actually have a fall this year, which is nice. Last year was just winter apocalypse, so I am excited to have a little bit of fall. The Page of Swords comes out here at first. Got Two of Swords as well. And then the Emperor. And then Death and Rebirth, which already is perfect with the trust the timing message here at the beginning with the Starseed Oracle. So with Page of Swords to start, this is a very kind of starter energy, beginning energy, there we go, you can see that a little bit better, of the Court card suit. So this is a very youthful energy. It's also the beginning of, with the swords. Swords is all about the mind, thoughts. It can also represent ideas, challenges, that sort of thing, of a mental nature. So with the Page of Swords, there is an implication of an idea, the beginning of an idea, the beginning of an intellectual pursuit here at the first portion of the month. That's what I'm getting from this. There's an idea that can take you across something that maybe you haven't been able to cross here in the past, whether that's this year, this last month, something you've been struggling with for a long time. I feel like the energy, especially with the eclipse coming up in the middle of the month, is providing a perfect atmosphere and opportunity for you to overcome some of the issues you've had in the past through learning something new. So I would recommend, and I'll get some clarification on these as well, but just off the top, I'd recommend remaining open to new ideas and new opportunities that present themselves to you. Don't continue to just do the same thing that you've always done. Open yourself up a little bit to trusting the timing. If something comes into your life that sparks something for you, I would follow it. This is an energy that is going to stir something inside of you. Mentally, it's going to provide a feeling that is undeniably for you. So that's what I get in the first part of the month there. And then kind of middle of the month, which is where the eclipse is going to fall, we've got the Two of Swords, and then we've also got the Emperor. So the Two of Swords, again, being in the sword suit, this is all about our mind, what's happening in our mind. And the Two of Swords symbolizes choice. It could be between two different things. It could also be, you know, back here there's another path off to the side. Could be a third choice that you're not really considering or haven't considered in the past. But this is very much giving a situation where there's a decision that needs to be made. So we'll get some more clarification on what that decision is right away with the Emperor as well. That divine masculine energy. And perhaps, you know, the decision could be around your power. Maybe taking your power back if it's been given to somebody that it ought not to have been. The Emperor also is the master of his own world. He is the dominating force of his world. He controls what goes on, and he's good at doing that, and he's comfortable doing that. So I do feel like there's a strategic choice that's going to need to be made, and for some of you, I'm getting that this is surrounding career. I don't feel like there's anything sneaky that you need to do or that's going on, but I do feel like there's some tact or some intelligence that needs to go on in that realm as far as making a decision. Maybe you're being looked at for a promotion, or maybe you're not happy where you're at with work, and there's a decision that needs to be made as far as staying or possibly looking elsewhere. Or a third option could be maybe you could be starting your own business as well. Maybe YouTube channels in your future too, who knows. So off the top, that's what I get with this. Like I said, we'll get some clarifying influences to see what else is going on here. But for the last third of the month, portion of the month, we've got death and rebirth. And death in this deck here, it's death, but the lights here also focuses on the rebirth portion. With every death, there is a rebirth too. So I do see something coming to an end by month's end, and it could be a relationship situation, like I said, with the eclipse in Libra. And sorry about the zooming as well, you guys. This is literally my very first video, and I'm just trying to see what I'd like for you to be able to see the cards here too. My introduction video, I just had me face to face, but like I said in the intro video too, feedback is absolutely appreciated. If it's something that drives you nuts, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll just play around and see what works. But anyway, I do see something coming to an end, or something that needs to come to an end, because there's a force, or there's an energy right on the other side of it that's meant for you, that's waiting for you. And some of you, I think it's the relationship, like I mentioned earlier in the reading with the eclipse. Maybe the death is you no longer living alone. Your rebirth is living as a couple. Maybe your death is your singlehood. Maybe your death is the couple. But for some of you, I'm very much getting something about career and going within to find that direction. In this card specifically, the hooded figure here, death, whatever this is, around him or her, them, it feels like a very organized, chaotic pace, something that we're not maybe privy to the orchestration of it all, which is kind of the way the universe works. It's not our job to know how it works or to try to control how it works. Our job is to figure out what we want, to temper our emotions, and to create it in that vein. But what I see with this card is the answer, your direction, being very much at the center of inside of you. That's where your peace is. That's where you're going to find what is meant for you. There's a call that's coming with the eclipse in Libra, and it's going to be different for everybody. But in your sign, like I said, there is a very strong influence of relationships, romantic relationships. So I do want to pull some more cards here to help clarify these, see if we can get a little bit more direction. How's everyone doing? Like I said, being my first video here, I appreciate everyone's patience and taking the time to look at it too. If there is anything in here that you find helpful or that resonates with you, I would really appreciate any sort of feedback in the comments, as well as got two of Swords here, and then Page of Cups. Loving this already. what you like, what you don't like, something that resonated with you, made sense to you, didn't make sense to you, you like the lighting, you don't, please comment. I'd love to hear your feedback. If you enjoyed this video, please like this video as well, and please feel free to share as well. I am not hiding about the fact that I'm trying to grow this channel, so I need your help to do that, and I would really appreciate that. Queen of Swords here. And clarify the death and rebirth as well. Okay, one more card there. Is anyone dressing up for Halloween? Well, it's end of the month here, but if you're anything like I am with planning, as far as that goes, you'll wait until November 1st to plan your costume. All right. So, with the Page of Swords, we got the Two of Swords, and then the Page of Cups as well. So the Two of Swords is, you got the Two of Swords here in the second part of the month as well. So it's interesting that it came out in the first portion of the month. Two of Swords is all about making a decision, and being the standard rider deck here, these pictures are more universally talked about or understood. So she's got a blindfold on here, and she's holding those two swords represent two thoughts or two ideas, two situations where she needs to decide between the two, and she's stuck. And that's symbolized by her sitting on this bench. But there is this island behind her here. If she were to get her butt up off that bench and take the blindfold off, she could see that there's a third option. And a lot of the time, we don't consider that. We do tend to get stuck on exactly what's in front of us, and that is definitely a fear-based practice, and it makes sense. You know, our ego is there to keep us alive and keep us safe. And I feel like these two choices, along with the Two of Swords in the second portion of the month, I feel like this is telling me the end of the first third of the month into the second third of the month. There's a decision that's going to be coming up for you to make, and it's going to seem like you only have these two choices, but I do feel like there are other options, and that could be in love, that could be in career. I'm getting very much though that those are the two dominant energies coming through on the reading here. And with this decision, it's important to trust the timing of what's going on. Look around you when this does pop up. What is going on in your immediate sphere? What's going on in your relationships with your friends, your family, what's going on at work, what's going on inside of you. I believe that's going to help direct you to what is for you. Very much like the end of the month here, like I said, the answer is inside of you. There's a lot of confusing chaos because the universe speaks a language that truly we don't fully speak. We could say it's math, but even then, in energy, we don't fully speak that language. We're not meant to as humans. So go inside, because it's being translated. This human body is a transmitter of sorts. You can pick up on that. That's the benefit of meditating, going inside and trying to feel, sense, experience what the truth is, what is needed of you, what is wanted of you from outside of yourself and from inside of yourself. Dreams as well is coming to me. But the Page of Cups, along with the Page of Swords and the Two of Swords here in the first third of the month, tells me that there is something that you want, there's something new that you haven't been doing or you haven't done that you want to do. And you have been dawdling is what came out. You've been dawdling, you've been hemming and hawing. This venture, this thought, this new relationship, maybe person that you have been interested in, or step that you're wanting to take in a relationship, whether that's moving forward and closer or moving further and away, that's represented by that fish here in his cup. That's something that's out here that isn't here yet, but it needs to be brought here. So that's what the decision is surrounding what you currently have and what you want. And like I said, whether that's in career or relationship, and that could even, it could even be the relationship towards yourself, the way that you interact with yourself and engage with yourself. We're in a time right now, especially with the eclipse, where there's some powerful energies coming through for transformation that allow us to make some quantum leaps that we haven't been able to make in the past. So this is telling me in the first portion of the month, pay attention to your ideas. Pay attention to what's rolling around in that noggin. Even what you read. Pay attention to what stirs you, what brings about a desire to take action. Decide what you want to do with that, and then do it. Start doing this. The page is that very beginning portion of the court cards, getting started. Looking at getting started. So in the second portion of the month, around the time of the eclipse, like I said, we have the Two of Swords and the Emperor, and then now we've got the Queen of Swords. So what this is telling me, along with the decision, because we got that Two of Swords as well in the second portion of the month, I feel like it's okay to take a little bit of time to make this decision, but it's also something that's a little bit time sensitive. The Emperor is asking you to be intelligent and calculating about how you're making this decision. And then with the Queen of Swords, this is telling me to, or is telling you to share, to start bringing it out here, to start sharing that decision once you've made that decision. It's time to get ready to cut through the BS. And that BS could be you, or your own thoughts. It could be this relationship, whatever you want to do with that. It could be a career move. It could be telling your boss that you're no longer going to be taking lunch at noon, but you'll be doing it at 1. Or maybe that they can take a leap. It could be time to start applying to those other jobs that maybe you've been too afraid, or maybe you're feeling beaten down. I know this last few years really, since COVID, it's been a complete transformative time, and not in an easy way. It's been crunchy. So what this is asking you to do right now is to take that crunch and start using that energy that's sitting inside of you to make some movement out here. It doesn't need to be volatile or dominating. The Emperor can be kind of a dominating, and maybe it is maybe you do need to be a little bit more dominating. Maybe you're usually the sub. I don't know. Maybe it's time to switch that up. But I don't feel like that's for all of you. I don't feel like that kind of force is needed for everybody. But for some of you, I feel like maybe there is. So with the last portion of the month here in the death and rebirth, there's definitely something about focusing on the inside, the message being on the inside, letting something transform and to transform you. Having justice come through, and then also the sun. So justice is all about balance and karma. I see this very much attached to this death and rebirth portion. This is about balancing. There's an event change in the way that you're thinking or the way that you're engaging with your environment that is needed. And it may even be karmically tied, but I feel like it speaks more to a balancing that's going around in largesse for all of us. Cause and effect is always at play. But I feel like it's speaking to the decision as well. There's a need to rebalance after making this decision. Whatever decision that is that you make, whether you decide to keep things the same or to change them, there's going to need to be a process of letting that go to allow the new to come in, giving yourself time to rebalance. And then with the sun coming up, I love that, actually. And you've got several, 4 different major arcana here. So this is seeming like a powerful month for you, Aries. But the sun is the most yes, the biggest yes you could get. It is, and to me, seeing this as well, this is symbolic of success. Whatever decision you're needing to make here, if you can go through and trust the timing of what's going on, trust yourself that you know the answer's here. And I feel like that's going to become a lot more apparent here at the end of the month. But with the 2 of Swords that are in here, and the Page of Swords, Page of Cups in the beginning, it's interesting. I feel that there's a decision that needs to be made, and then evaluating that after the fact. Trusting your instincts, trusting your timing on this, that nothing is too late for you. But a part of trusting the timing of the universe and your timing as well is trusting that your own timing is correct. And part of your own timing is your own intuition. I don't think it's a full leap before thinking kind of thing, but you know what's best for you before knowing what's best for you. And of course, some of us deal with traumas and it's difficult to know that answer right away. But there's something about this eclipse this month that is allowing some insight to come through for all of us. And for you specifically, for most of you, this is talking about a relationship, something either to yourself, someone you're already with, someone you need to not be with, maybe even a family member. It could be a relationship towards your job as well. Like I said, career, there is a little bit of career that's coming through for some of you. But what I'm getting by the end of the month here is a very successful month. As long as you can trust and have faith that the timing is correct, you're exactly where you need to be, help always arrives at exactly the right time, you get the biggest of yeses. You get the biggest of successes. So I love this. I love this reading for you for the month. It's very, very positive, really. I don't see really any failure either. No matter what choice you make, there is success. But the more that you trust your timing and your intuition, that balancing effect is going to come through and be proportional, I feel like, to the success you experience. So there are 3 right answers, let's say. There's good, better, and best. You are the one who gets to decide, though, what that is. And most of you, I think a lot of you know what that choice already is. So trust yourself. Take a beat if you need to. Close your eyes and ask. And I know that this month is going to bring more clarity to you. You've got guaranteed success here. So thank you, Aries, for joining me here for this reading this month. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video here. And like I said, comment, like, please. Any input I would love to receive. And if you know any areas you want to see this video as well, or if this reminded you of anyone, please feel free to share that. Also, take a look at your rising moon and Venus if you would like some more information on what's going on for you as a larger picture. So again, thank you for joining me, and I will see you for the weekly readings that I'll be putting out here soon. All right, take care.